I'm Lori Brown with the Nature Conservancy, and we're out here working on a low-tech stream restoration project. So this is a bank-attached woody debris structure, and the point of this structure is to help accelerate the natural channel process that's already occurring here. We're trying to funnel the water towards the outside bank to help create a pool, and at the same time create an inset floodplain behind it. The ultimate goal of this project is to help make conditions for beaver habitat.
I'm here with Lori. She was here last summer, about 10 months ago. Lori, tell us what's going on.
Well, we built a series of these beaver mimicry structures with the goal of making our stream a bit more complex, a bit more dynamic, and we ended up attracting some beaver to our site. Yeah. It's sort of a if you build it, they will come situation. So they've been doing some work on this creek throughout fall and winter. They build some food caches. They're living in bank dens right now. And these beavers are really nature's gardeners. They're working their way through some of these trees, and they don't eat themselves out of house and home. They're being pretty selective in how they're eating. And the trees that they have cut down are going to produce some new shoots, and they're going to regrow. And we'll keep monitoring their progress over time and see how far we get.
Okay, Lori, so we've been up and down Spring Creek and we've seen all kinds of old activity, probably from decades ago, of beaver. And can you talk a little bit about what pushed them out and the impact that it had specifically on this stream and what's brought them back?
Yeah, so beaver were heavily trapped out throughout the western states, and particularly on these prairie systems because they were easily accessible if you're a fur trapper. And when the beaver left and they weren't there to maintain their dams, the systems became more simplified, which meant that our streams were more erosive. Without beaver dams to hold up and slow down water, those streams have a lot more force, and we get this down cutting. And when these streams cut down, the vegetation starts to dry out. So we end up in this feedback loop of beaver loss and vegetation loss. And then when you pair that with certain types of grazing, which also removes vegetation from the creek banks, it makes it really hard for them to come back in. But with bison being less impactful on stream systems, the beaver have a chance to get just a toehold in these systems. So with the combination of your grazing practices and with some structures to encourage them, we've seen them return to these areas, and we hope that they start to do their little busy beaver work and start to recruit even more vegetation that they want to eat. Now we're just the hippies who play in the creek.
Play with sticks.
Yeah.